All right, guys, it is early morning on Monday, November 18th. I'm still in the Seattle area at my brother and sister's place, but I was planning on leaving tomorrow. I was gonna take today to do some grocery shopping, fill up my propane, pack everything up, just like take my time doing all that stuff. But last night I was planning on how I was going to get to Northeast California, where Roe is right now. With it being mid-November, I just needed to plan my route on how to get over the Cascade Mountains. I was finding that there were winter storm warnings near all of the mountain passes, and I was looking at webcams, live camera feeds from those mountain passes, and it's just blizzard conditions, and I'm like, oh man, how am I gonna get over the mountains? Thankfully, I was able to find a route, I-84 east from Portland, follows the Columbia River, and it's really low elevation. And so, with it being an Interstate 2, if road conditions were bad, they would, make sure that those, the state would do its best to keep that road open with it being an interstate. And so I was like, okay, cool. I can get over the Cascades that way into eastern Oregon and then shoot down south to Northeast California from there. I was stressed out about that, not anymore. And then this morning I woke up to weather warnings on my phone telling me that there is something called a bomb cyclone about to hit the Pacific Northwest, and it is forming right now. Apparently a bomb cyclone is a hurricane-like storm that forms extremely quickly in less than 24 hours. And yeah, it's going to create insanely heavy winds in the foothills of the Cascade Mountains. They're saying that winds could be as high as 60 to 80 miles an hour in the foothills of the mountains. With those conditions in mind, I realized, oh, holy crap, what the heck is happening? I have to get the hell out of here now. And so I'm not gonna wait till tomorrow to leave, because it's supposed to be at its peak Tuesday afternoon or Tuesday evening tomorrow. And so if I can get far enough south, get over the mountains, get to the eastern Oregon, I think I'll be able to avoid the worst of it. And yeah, I just hope that it doesn't snow really heavily on the eastern side of Oregon over the mountains, because those areas are still pretty high elevation. They're over 3,000 feet. And so yeah, if it snows there in those rural areas on those state highways, then I won't be traveling on interstates, unfortunately. It could get a little rough, but I'm going to go and fill my propane, do the grocery shopping I need to do. As soon as I'm just going to be really quick about it, get back here, pack up, get the hell out of here. So yeah, I'm gonna go take care of that stuff now, and I'll see you guys when I'm done with it. Sweetie, we got to get the hell out of here, pup. Mwah. Let's go. Come on, sweetie. That's a good girl. Go on. Go on. Go. We're finally on the road. Man, it took me so much longer than I expected to get ready and actually get on the road. God, yeah, it's 3 o'clock. It was 2:30 when I finally rolled out of Thomas and Amanda's place. Way later than I had hoped. I was hoping I would be able to get out of there by noon, but it's okay. I'm on the road, and I'm getting ahead of the storm that's coming. I really hope that I'm able to get enough distance between me and the storm when it actually hits, so that it doesn't really affect me. Yeah, the type of winds that they're predicting or that they're forecasting are pretty scary. You know, like 60-mile-an-hour winds, that could just blow my trailer right over. And so yeah, I was like, I gotta get out of there. And yeah, I'm just gonna drive as far as I can today. And yeah, just try and get a lot of distance between me and the storm. And you know, I unfortunately wasn't able to get out early enough to beat the Seattle traffic, the SeaTac traffic, I guess, you know, in between Seattle and Tacoma. But yeah, the traffic's still just terrible. I am between like 30 mile an hour and 10 mile an hour on I-5. I've got 130 miles to go before I can hook up with I-84, take that across from the west coast over to the east side of the state. And yeah, I'm really hoping it doesn't snow. I don't get caught in a whole bunch of snow, high winds, but I think I'll be okay. Well, we'll see, man. We'll see. Well, I just got to our overnight spot for the night at Memaloose Rest Area. It's right off of I-84. What kind of sucks about this spot too is that there's no parking left for RVs or big rigs. They're all taken. And so I just sort of parked in the car parking spots like I would if I was at, like, say, a Walmart or something. But I just don't really have another option. There's not another rest area for quite a while. And so, you know, I don't think anyone's gonna bother me anyway, because there's a ton of car parking spots and only like 2 of them are taken up. And so, you know, we're just gonna park here. But I'm really excited for tomorrow because I'm driving all the way through the Columbia River Canyon at night, which is kind of a bummer because I can't really see anything. And there's a ton of state parks, a ton of historical sites around here, some vista lookouts, and I haven't been able to enjoy any of them because it's nighttime. You know, the sun started setting at about 4 p.m. And so, yeah, just I missed out on all of those, but I will have about 15 to 20 miles along, you know, the rest of I-84 before I get off of it. And so I'm really looking forward to those views tomorrow. Alright guys, it's the next day and I just checked the forecast and man, I'm getting out of here just ahead of the storm. It's already raining in Portland. It's snowing just like 20 miles, you know, west of where I just came from last night, and it is coming this way. The winds are supposed to get pretty heavy. I think I'm gonna be driving through like 25 mile an hour, maybe 30 mile an hour sustained winds today as I go through eastern Oregon, like through the Bend area. At least that's what the wind forecast is showing. I'm hoping it's not gonna be that bad, but we're gonna find out. I am, though, gonna take a second to stop at an overlook that's only 11 minutes away because, yeah, outside it just looks super beautiful and I want to see that and I want to show you guys that also. But here you can see something that's not so beautiful. This is what the inside of the trailer looks like on travel days. Everything has to come down and go onto either the floor or onto the bed so that it doesn't get damaged while traveling. So yeah, there you go. Something that's not quite as beautiful, but yeah, Sweetie and the rabbits are already inside of the truck, ready to go. Yeah, just gotta lock this up and yeah, then we'll be good to go. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to continuing to put more room between me and the bomb cyclone, and yeah, hope this overlook is really beautiful. Hey, sweet girl. Hey, puppy, you ready to go? Yeah, you ready to go, big girl? This is the Rowena Crest Overlook. Like I said, just about 10 minutes away from the overnight spot that I stayed at. And man, was this worth it. Guys, if you're traveling on I-84, I highly recommend you stop here. It's beautiful, even though it's so cloudy, but on a clear day, from the pictures I saw online, I think you can see some of the larger mountains around here. I'm pretty sure you can see Mount Hood, but I can't see them today since it's so cloudy, but it's okay. The view is still incredible, man. And there's some really cool info panels here too. One of them talks about how the Columbia River Canyon was formed, and there's a really neat quote on it that says, "Imagine water blasted from a fire hose, but think of this hose as having a nozzle as wide and tall as the valleys or channels through which the flood burst. The torrent ravaged and swallowed everything that lay in its path. A cornucopia gone mad, pouring forth destruction." And yeah, that's how they believe that this canyon was formed. There were massive lakes in Idaho and Montana that were, you know, dammed up by glacial ice, 1,000 feet tall. But when those dams gave way, all of that water from lakes as large as 3,000 square miles just burst out of there and just came blasting down and just carved all of this out super quickly. Pretty cool to think of an event as extremely destructive and land changing as that. And as I was driving up here, I noticed I was on the historic Route 30, and it's a very steep, narrow, and winding highway. And it made me think, wow, man, if you need to travel this route east to west, you know, back before the interstates were made, then this would be really difficult, especially if you were, you know, transporting something for commerce. This would not be a great route, and it really makes me appreciate how amazing the interstates are. You know, the I-84 is flat, straight. You can blast through it at 60 miles an hour. You can see the road behind me just a little bit. I had to climb at like 25 miles an hour. And so yeah, crossing the state east to west would have been rough. And there's another info panel here with a really cool quote, because apparently when they designed and built Highway 30, they had its scenery, making it very scenic and a beautiful drive as the most important thing, instead of, you know, making it something that was purely quick and fast like what the interstates are. There's a cool quote on this info panel too that says, "Grades, curvatures, distance, and even expense were sacrificed to reach some scenic vista or to develop a particularly interesting spot. Although the highway would have commercial value in connecting the coast with the eastern areas, no consideration was given the commercial over the scenic requirements. The one prevailing idea in the location and construction was to make this highway a great scenic boulevard surpassing all other highways in the world." And that's a quote by one of the head engineers and designers, John A. Elliott, in 1929. It's pretty cool. Well, I'm super happy, yeah, that I took the I-84 route instead of trying to cut across the Cascade Mountains at some of the mountain passes, because once I started to head south through East Oregon, I was paralleling the Cascade Mountains, and yeah, man, they were just covered in snow. So yeah, towing the trailer would have just been a nightmare, I think, trying to get over those passes. And I'm happy to say that the wind never really got all that bad. There was a pretty strong headwind for a little while north of Bend, Oregon, but you know, it really wasn't that bad. And so yeah, I think I definitely got out of there in time. The bomb cyclone should kind of be hitting the Washington area that I left right about now, I think, is when it was supposed to start getting bad. There is snow on the ground here, and yeah, I am at 4,200 feet elevation. Got a little altimeter thingy there that tells me what elevation I'm at. And yeah, there is a little bit of snow on the ground, not a ton, but yeah, super happy I got out of there with plenty of time to just avoid that storm. I'm gonna go ahead and take 3 days to get out to Northeast California, out to where Ro is at, because I'm trying something different. The whole time I've been traveling and doing Fate Unbound, I've just always been in this huge hurry to get to the next destination, to get there as fast as possible. So I would drive as long as I could, you know, pull like 12-hour travel days and stuff. But what I've realized over time is that, yeah, that gets me there super quick and I get more time at my destination, less time on the road. But I miss a lot of the stuff in between, you know, like that overlook that I checked out this morning, historical sites, any monuments that might be on the way, or like cool local restaurants. And so yeah, I'm trying out a much slower pace of travel, only traveling like 4 or 5 hours a day at the most, so that, yeah, I can just see more of the areas that I'm traveling through. Alright, it's 4 p.m. The sun is beginning to set. It's just starting to get darker out, so I don't have a ton of daylight left. Man, it's 4 p.m. and it's getting dark. When daylight savings time ends here in the Pacific Northwest, oh my god, it just gets dark so fast. It's kind of frustrating, but it's okay. What's not okay is that there is quite a bit of snow on the ground. The road is still plowed and clear, at least here on Highway 31 in the Oregon Outback. I keep seeing signs that this is like the Oregon Outback scenic route, which is pretty cool, and it is very beautiful here. But the snow on the ground has me really worried, because if I can't pull into a campsite if it's really snowy, because my truck, as much as I love this diesel, it does not have 4-wheel drive, and I'm towing a heavy trailer, and so yeah, man, I can't really get onto snow and feel comfortable, and I gotta drive 5 miles down a road off of the highway to get to that campsite. And so not only that, but I've just been continuing to go up and up in elevation this whole time. I'm at 5,000 feet, just crossed over 5,000 feet in elevation, so it's not like it's gonna get any better. Yeah, I'm thinking I'm gonna have to kind of pivot my overnight spot and stay somewhere just off the highway, which is kind of a bummer. I wanted a secluded campsite for the night, but I don't think I'm gonna get it. All right, guys, I called an audible and I was able to find a camping site in the Duchette's National Forest, about 30 minutes away from where I was originally planning on staying, 30 minutes before. You know, with it starting to get dark, I just felt like it was a better idea to find a spot as soon as I could, instead of like driving another 30 minutes when it's probably gonna be fully dark and risking not being able to get to that campsite. But yeah, I was able to find this like large camping area. The highway is right behind me. See that car passing by? But it's off the highway enough that it's not loud at all. It's extremely quiet here. I'm the only one in this whole like larger camping area. And yeah, there may be some snow on the ground, but it's really thin. It's just kind of a dusting. And so yeah, my truck can handle it no problem, despite only being rear wheel drive. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to staying at this side overnight. It's gonna be nice and quiet, and yeah, just more my style, you know? But I gotta go get the rabbits out of the truck. I already started the furnace in the trailer. I think I'm gonna cook up some eggs, bacon, and toast for dinner. Have a little breakfast for dinner, you know, some Brinner. And yeah, just have a nice, calm night in. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for the last leg of this journey. Bye. Good girl. Good girl, yeah. Good pup. Good girl. All right, got dinner finished. I got bacon, eggs, and toast. Yeah, it's breakfast food, but you know what? I just love this so much that, you know, I'm okay eating it for dinner. I never really understood the difference between like breakfast food and dinner food. You know, if I'm craving bacon and eggs, then you know what? That's what I want for dinner. And I'm gonna just watch a little bit on the tablet here while I eat my dinner, and yeah, then we're gonna go to bed, get a decent amount of sleep, head out early in the morning. So see you guys for the trip tomorrow. Well, okay, we definitely got quite a bit of snow last night. Come on, sweetie. Yeah, it's a lot more than I thought. I mean, I saw that there was like 1 to 2 inches in the forecast, and I figured, you know, as long as we got 1 to 2 inches, I'd be fine. I could get out just fine. But I think we got, you know, about 4 maybe. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little worried about being able to get out of here. Like I said, my truck is only rear-wheel drive. It's not 4-wheel drive, but I do have really good off-road tires on the truck. I've got BF Goodrich KO2s. I can always air down the rear tires. They're at 80 PSI because, you know, that's just what Chevy recommends you put them at for towing or hauling. And so, yeah, I've got quite a bit of airing down that I can do to help gain some more traction. And that is usually what I do when I'm like off-roading out in the National Forest or something. If I hit some mud, some soft sand, you know, anything like that, I'll air down the rear tires and it helps me get a lot more traction. But, you know, this is kind of a whole nother beast. In my over 7 years of full-time RVing, believe it or not, I haven't really gotten into much snow like this, and that's because I always head down south, or you know, I just get out of higher elevations or you know, northern areas before the snow hits, but I just wasn't able to do that this year. And so yeah, I'm at 5,000 feet elevation in Central Oregon, and yeah, caught in the snow a little bit. But if I can't get out, the highway is literally just right there. And so, you know, I'm sure I can flag someone down to get some help. I also do have a shovel, and so I guess I could scrape a path. It'd take forever to get out, but yeah, let's see if we can get out of here. I made it out of there, no problem. Wow, I don't know why
I was stressed out about that at all. Yeah, the truck pulled it out of there, no problem. I didn't have to air the tires down. They're still at 80 PSI. That's awesome, and that gives me a lot more confidence too, for the future. I definitely don't want to be putting myself in situations like this very often, but still, it's really good to know. And the highway, the road conditions are actually a lot better than I expected them to be too. So good on you, Oregon DOT, for keeping this highway plowed. This is Highway 31 in the Oregon Outback, middle of nowhere, and they're keeping it completely cleared, plowed, and salted, so that's awesome. All right, guys, I think the wind from the cyclone has finally hit here. I've only been on the road for about an hour. I'm completely out of the snow, thankfully, but the side wind that I'm dealing with right now is so intense that I've had to slow down to 35 mile an hour instead of going 60 on this highway. Because yeah, it just started to push my trailer real hard. So yeah, this is extremely fast winds right now. I'm really glad I was able to make it out of the snow though first. There's no snow where I'm at right now. I'm down to about 4,000 feet elevation from 5,000 where I was. So thankfully, once the winds hit, I'm also not on slippery road, because that would have been a terrible combination. But the wind is coming directly on the side, so I'm getting broadsided by it. Just wanted to shove my trailer this way. So yeah, I just slowed way down, and yeah, I don't know how long this is gonna last, but it's pretty intense, and I'm in a pretty crazy dust storm too. So yeah, the cyclone winds have definitely reached over here now. Hey guys, I wanted to step out real quick and just give you an idea of how strong the winds are right now. It's insane. I can't go faster than 30, 35 mile an hour right now on the highway, especially with it being a side wind. It's just so powerful. Shoving the truck and trailer all over the place. Hell, it's trying to shove me over right now too, so. Yeah, man, I honestly, I think I'd rather it be snowing and dealing with like snow and ice than this heavy wind, but it is what it is. I'll just have to go slow, and I'll get to where I'm going when I get there. Jeez, I gotta hold the selfie stick with 2 hands. I'm just trying to blow the camera out of my hands too. Jeez. Hi, I'm on Highway 31, mile marker 64, and yeah, I'm seeing a number of spot fires up on the hills. Okay, great. That's good to know. Yeah, you're welcome. And I was the one that just called. You couldn't hear, so. All right, thank you. Yep, bye. Okay, good. Yeah, I saw a bunch of spot fires up on the hill, and I didn't see anything or anyone around, and with yeah, the super high wind, I was just nervous, how quickly and easily fires can spread. But the 911 operator told me that it's a controlled burn, thankfully, but yeah, it's kind of odd to me that they would be having a controlled burn on a day where the wind is just so crazy. I mean, like I said earlier, I'm not able to go over 35. It's really intense. So I'm only 10 minutes away from Ro's dad's place where Ro's at. Yeah, I didn't film very much of this travel day other than like the few like really exciting or interesting things that had happened, because I mean, honestly, this video is already getting long enough and I didn't just want to fill it with random stuff. Pretty uneventful since the last time I was on camera, but yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting there. Ro has this whole like yard setup and everything. It's pretty cool, and I'm really looking forward to seeing Ro and the kitties and Juniper again. And yeah, I've got some things that I need to help Ro out with when I get there. Her generator, believe it or not, still is not running. There's issues with the carburetor. I replaced the carburetor with like a cheap Amazon carburetor because the replacement, the OEM replacement from Cummins, is $530. But you can get a carburetor on Amazon for only $30. So that's the route we went, obviously. But, you know, they're really hit or miss apparently, and this carburetor is garbage. So I got a different one on Amazon that I'm gonna replace it with. Hopefully it actually works, and we can fire the generator up and finally break in the brand new engine that I installed on it a few months ago. And then, believe it or not, guys, Ro is getting a Jeep. She's already got one lined up. It's 4.5 hours away from Susanville, where her dad lives. And so on Saturday, it's all planned out. On Saturday, we're gonna drive, pick up that Jeep for her. She's super excited, and yeah, it's gonna be really awesome. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I really enjoyed this travel, you know, this 3-day travel thing. Taking the travel days a little slower so I can enjoy everything a little bit more. I liked it a lot, and I hope you enjoyed it too. But if you did enjoy it, please consider subscribing. That would really help me out. But my name's David. This is Sweetie, and this is Fate Unbound. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye. Sweetie girl, say bye. There we go. Good girl. See you guys. Oh, wow.